Hola amigos de Campo Native. As Lucian said, I'm Alvin Estrada. I will be presenting the D'ohOps presentation about Homer Simpson dealing with a software project in a D'ohOps journey. So yeah, let's see about it. My name is Alvin Estrada. You can find me on Twitter and GitHub as AdaWolves. I'm Kubernetes Guatemala organizer and a speaker. Disclaimer, I am not an expert, but I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and Simpson episodes, so I hope you enjoy it. So this episode started by the lazy Saturday, or quite not accurate. Yeah. Later that day, at the plant, Homer, Carl, and Lenny was chilling and work as usually, but suddenly Homer was called to Mr. Burns' office. For his surprise, Mr. Burns promoted him to be the lead developer and project manager for the new IT department. He even told Homer to hire anyone he wants. And yeah, we all think the same, Homer. So it was time to design his own software. He decided to build a beautiful web application with some copyright content on it. He just wanted to test his developer skills. He even went to the nearest tech store and bought a brand new expensive computer. Connected into the internet and decided to start searching for things. Well, he had to start somewhere, right? Now, with a solid knowledge and some midnight snacks, he decided to start looking for software development topics. He actually spent the entire night eating and Googling stuff. But it wasn't that cool as it sounds, right? So, back to business. Now he wants to use all the beauty icon developer tools, web apps, mobile apps, hybrid apps, native apps, and even that crazy thing called microservices. But then he decided to start making code, because code, he said. There was days full of changes, a night scrolling on Stack Overflow. But yeah, there was not a plan and a structure, and we all know how is it, right? They hired a freelance developer to help, but it was expensive and took a lot of time to get results. At some point, Lisa tried to merge and build the code, but errors was everywhere. And of course, hardware paid what software cannot. The QA team came and noticed that the project didn't pass the tests. Well, I think there was not even tests on it. And I know, but you should never forget test, Homer. Marge had to deal with what I like to call the treehouse of horror deployed at midnight. And yeah, Homer pushed the poor site reliability engineers to be at 3 a.m. in the morning fixing bugs and tried to make the project manager happy. I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of people freaking out and exploding because deploy date pressure. It was very curious, right? So now Homer has to handle the ops by himself. He even built his own automation system. You remember it, right? But it quickly became something like this, and it finally ends in something like this. The situation was very critical. Homer wasn't happy. Mr. Burns wasn't happy. And even Bart had problems because of it. Homer asked Bart and Lisa about some advices. And they suggested to call an old friend. It was Professor Frink, and he was happy to help. The professor came with that mystic science, explaining something as a devil toolchain, and there was a lot of devil toolchains. He even used these slides, and he explained that they all was in an alternative reality, being part of something called Campo Native. He tried to explain what's in an interdimensional loop, but yeah, people wasn't interested in it. And back to the presentation, Dr. Frink recommended some useful books and some useful technologies. Homer had to study and read a lot of books, but he actually liked it. After all that research, he actually understood that the DevOps toolchain is made by simple steps in an infinite loop. Every single step is a fundamental part of an entire ecosystem that is intended to improve on each iteration. There are different configurations, but this is a generic one. The chain starts by a well-defined plan, because if you don't know what you want to achieve, how do you plan to achieve your goal? Now that you have a plan and a set of tasks that need to be done, you can start to code in order to fulfill those tasks. The code needs to be built and tested automatically. There is needed a well-defined test for the code and systems. The release and deploy needs to be automated in order to make sure it's stable and repeatable. Once your application is running, you need to make sure it continues in that way. Make maintenance and deal with childish hackers. Metrics are very important because if you will make or you will start a new pipeline, it will help you to know what are you doing right and what you need to improve. And as a very last step, always do it again. So after some weeks of researching and reading books and internet blogs, it's time to do something cool. And here we go again. Now, Omer has the concept of DevOps, and he will follow Dr. Frink's advices. He hired Toy McClure to plan all the tasks for the first sprint. Apparently, he has experience on planning field. And now with the plan, Omer can be focused on important tasks. Now he do code because there is a task to accomplish. He can make changes, and there is still some nights scrolling in Stack Overflow, but yeah, DevOps is some magic. Now there is code that accomplishes atomic tasks. Well done, Omer. He even installed an open source system for automated builds, but Marsh wasn't sure about it. Bart learned to never forget tests, and he will deal with the tests from now. Automated builds and well-defined tests makes the releases less painful, and now there is pizza and duff for everyone. With the release done, it's time for deploy. Deploys are still a thing, but the process improves on each iteration. With the deploy, it's time for operations. Now there is a lot of fun. There are still some bad days, but those will last forever. Once there is operations, it's time to measure. Metrics are now enabled across the system. With the measure done, okay, all this computer hacking is making me thirsty, so give me a second, I will take some water. I don't know if there is any questions. A bit from the community.
Not currently, thanks, Alvin. Everybody's enjoying it.
Okay, thank you. So now that we already have water, we have some DevOps, and it's time to do it again. But yeah, we don't have enough time to see the entire process on all iteration. So I've asked Omer to use the old toaster and move in time to some iterations in the future. Let's see how is it. So here we are in the future. Troy McClure is still making the plans, using previous iteration, metrics, and reports to create the next iteration tasks. Lisa, Marge, and Jeff are now full-time developers. Build is made by the 85,000 automatically. It also handles tests, releases, and deploys. All the entire thing is job of Bart. Good job, Bart. Now operations are funnier. There is more time invested on improvements and optimizations than fixing all the bugs. They even implemented metrics, analytics, and automated alerts for all the systems. They know if build success, if all the tests passes, how was the deployment done in production, and even some observability metrics. With it, we are ready to do it again, or did it again, and we are ready for the next iteration. But for now, congratulations. the Homer's webpage is online. So thanks to Giphy, thanks to Frinkiak, a good page to get Simpsons gifts, the Simpsons for inspiring me, Camp Clonable organizer for having me here, and you for being part of the camp. So if there is any question, I'm here to answer. Otherwise, I think we can finish it.